Florida from Rally Ceredigion 2025, the penultimate round of the European Rally Championship. We're ready for qualifying to set the road order for tomorrow's event, with a very, very close championship fight in prospect. Mikko Marczyk leading by 11 points at the moment, but when you take the drop score into account, Andrea Mabellini actually leads by 2 points. More on Mr. Mabellini in a moment. My name is Peter McKay. I'll be taking you through the action this weekend, and we have got a proper expert, not just a rallying expert, but a Rally Ceredigion expert in Tom Cave. And Tom, this is the perfect stage, Pen Dam, to bring you in, because you've won this stage not once, but twice. Good morning. Florida.
Yes, good morning to everybody. Last Jews in 2019 in this direction, which, as you mentioned, Pete, we were quickest on both passes. So here's Mikko into the stage. Quite a fast start over crests. It's going to be key to get into a good rhythm early on here, because the stage gets even quicker with longer corners towards the middle section of it, with lots of cuts.
Drivers have had 2 passes so far of free practice. You came back to service, if you didn't, and some muddy cars coming back, Tom. A bit of a telltale sign that it's drier than it was on recce yesterday, but not fully dry for the drivers going through here in qualifying.
Yeah, exactly, Pete, but we've had a lot of rain in Wales the last few days, so the verges and the cuts are going to be very wet. All the cars are going to be nibbling away, like you said, on the inside there. He's nibbling away at all the cuts, and everyone else has got to follow that. If you don't, you're on the dirty line. So I'm heading down now to like a little ford, a water splash, however you want to word it. Quite tricky, because it's quite a narrow entry. You've got to rotate the car quite early. So we are breaking down now into the ford.
Managed to grab a quick word with McRae's co-driver Callum Black, who said this part was particularly slippy after free practice. Interestingly, in free practice, Osian Pryce going first on the road and setting a rapid time earlier on. Do you think there's anything to read into that, Tom? Ocean first on the road, setting the best time?
The road will be cleaner, of course. He'll know as well from doing this event with myself in 2019. He'll know where to cut and where not to, and whereabouts the road gets dirty. Like this section up here now, it's always been wet, and you know there's a lot of water coming off the hillside over the last few days. So you've got to just carry the speed the best you can. There's a lot of long corners up this section here. You've got to be ultra committed. As soon as you start to hesitate, you're throwing away 10th or even seconds.
So Andrea Mabellini, car number 2, big news overnight for this man. A 2-minute penalty. Both 2 team members from the Racing Factory team were caught on the power stage out width of the scheduled recce time, which is against the rules, and they've been administered a 2-minute penalty. Huge news, Tom, and for what it means for the championship fight, not just for Andrea but for Mikko as well. It changes the complexion completely, this 2-minute penalty.
Yeah, it certainly does. It's disappointing to see. Yeah, what's happened now. For me, being in Marczyk's position, like, the pressure's off to some degree, so you have to recalculate your approach to the event now. It's key that Marczyk doesn't make any mistakes. He keeps his nose clean. He's going to be somewhere near, isn't he? But being in Mabellini's position, then there'll be a mixture of emotions. I can't imagine what he's going through, but he's just got to have to full send it. He can't be like, he's got to come out fighting. You know, there's no other choice really. So.
Well, he has double the amount of stage wins of the nearest competitor so far this season. He's been super quick. He has had a great season. Only one retirement, which was due to a damper failure at the brutal Rally Hungary. He's very strong on tarmac. He was on the podium last year here at Ceredigion. So the pace is there, and we've been talking about it. 2 minutes is a puncture change. So I'm sure he'll be trying his best, but it's tough for this young man and his co-driver, Virgie Lindsay.
2 minutes is a lifetime in rallying, unfortunately, isn't it, before you even get going. So, but yeah, back with Marczyk, coming to the finish of the stage. Looks a lot cleaner at the end of the stage here, so good to see what his comments would be. And that's the benchmark, 3:42.8.
So in free practice, the fastest we saw was a 3:44 flat from Osian Pryce. So turn the wick up a little bit.
Yeah, road's probably getting a bit quicker, it's drier. The ambient temperature's a bit higher as well from what it was this morning, so I would give you better tyre temperature and everything else that goes with it. So yeah, we'll see what his comments are. The back of Mabellini, you see those big cuts there, a lot of mud being pulled out.
Let's hear from Miko.
Miko, good morning. Penultimate round of the championship back in Wales. A very important qualifying this morning. Did you get it as good as you could?
Yeah, it was clean run, but it's a demanding one. Already after Recce, we said that this one is probably the hardest part of the race, about how tough it is with so many small cuts. Sometimes there are big stones there, and also the conditions were changing a lot. Yesterday was more dry here. In our forecast was no rain, and today it was more damp, and it's okay, it's clean run, probably not as fast as should be, but it was proper one.
Molly Pettit asking the questions for us. Also, we've got Matt Cotton on the team this weekend. We'll be hearing from him at the stage end. He's on the tyre watch, and he's interesting, Tom. Medium tyre for Marczyk in here.
Yeah, I was surprised with that, to be honest. I thought they'd be on the soft compound tyre, so the Michelin would be the 11 tyre. So they've obviously had feedback from the tyre manufacturers, and obviously they've had feedback themselves from doing shakedown. They must feel like the medium is the correct tyre to be on. So, but this is going to be a really good time. Look at that.
Wow, 5.7 quicker than for Andrea Mabellini.
That's a statement.
The look on his face there, that is a determined Andrea Mabellini.
Yeah. He just looked more aggressive as well. He was taking much bigger cuts, carrying more speed to what Miko was doing. So, but you know, you would expect that with what's happened yesterday with Andrea and his team.
Jakob Matulka then, winner last year in ERC 3 at this event. What can he do this weekend? Struggled a little bit in free practice, just didn't quite have the feeling in the car. He went on medium tyre as well. Interested to see if he's staying on that for qualifying. Let's catch up with Andrea.
Good morning. That is 5.7 seconds quicker than Miko. You had some pretty tough news last night, but as we all know, anything can happen this weekend, and you seem to just really be on it from the very beginning.
Just one goal, 2 minutes, that's all. We just turned the, you know, when you play the games, you have the difficulties, no? You have easy, medium, now it's extreme. And we will do our best to achieve it, I'm sure of it.
I've never seen Andrea like that. He's always very determined, very focused, but very jovial at the same time. That is the most icy, determined Andrea Mabellini I've ever seen.
He's got the look in the eye, isn't he? I was going to say big jump there by John. My money's on John this weekend. He's been really quick the last couple of events in the ERC, showing really good pace in Barham. This doesn't seem... Everything okay there. Seemed quite slow into the entry of that water splash. I'm not sure if there's anything we need to know of, but I'm sure we'll find out in a moment.
Time will probably tell here for Jakob Matulka, potentially just taking it easy. That was a corner which we're warned about there with that little ford. It's not quite as deep as it was yesterday. There's some fantastic information which is publicly available. Go onto the Rally Ceredigion YouTube, and James Williams, who of course won the opening stage on Saturday morning last year, he's out there doing the route note crew for everybody, and fans can watch it as well. It's really valuable information. So Armstrong's second quickest then, 2.3. This man is asking around the service park. This man is the pick for the win for many people around the service park.
Yeah, that's a good time by John. I think based on what Mabellini's done, I think he'd be relatively happy with that. But like I say, just going back to James, it's good to see him being involved this weekend.
So second fastest for John Armstrong.
John, good morning. That second quickest, just under 3 seconds off the pace in there. You're somewhat of a favourite to win this weekend. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, obviously it's a lot closer to home than the rest of the championship, so yeah, we kind of know a bit what to expect from the surface and the conditions. So yeah, we'll just try to have a good rally and get around. So yeah, obviously get the rhythm. This was much better than the free practice, so yeah, let's see how tomorrow goes.
Always smiling, John Armstrong, always with that positive frame of mind. Road looks to be getting dirtier and dirtier, Tom, already.
Yeah, certainly does. Armstrong was on a medium tyre there as well, so The continuity's the same between all the top drivers, which is interesting. But I don't think John, he didn't look relatively happy with that run, so just with the way his body language was, I think he was maybe hoping for a little bit more. But
Martin Vlcek then in second place in the Masters category, for those of a certain level of life experience. And he's had a solid season, had a great run in Barham at his home event, actually switched to the Skoda Fabia RS and won that rally in the Masters category, back in his more familiar Hyundai i20 now. Now Dariusz Brzezinski, the championship leader, he's not here, so there's a bit of a free kick here for Martin potentially, that he does have a lot of other contenders in the Masters category this weekend, which we'll come on to, but a good opportunity to get the jump before we go into the last round in Croatia as Jakub Matulka approaches the flying finish. Quicker than Marczyk there, 4 seconds off the fastest time. Good run there for Jakub.
Good time.
Now, did he take your advice, Tom? Now you want to know if he's changed tyre or not.
Yeah, we had a chat before they went out to qualify and what he was going to do with the setup and the tyre, but we'll see. So.
Could he read the expression on your face when you're like...
It was questionable, but obviously they've driven the stage, I haven't, so...
Do you think he went into his on and they're like, that was a top
No,
winner, double winner?
No, he didn't have a clue who I was, so... He's a bit younger than me.
Apologies, that sound not coming through from the stop line there for Jakub. Road looking dirtier and dirtier now.
Yeah, it's a big cut here on the inside, he's got to take the cut. This is quite a nice section down to sort of the square right at the end of the category. Into a section where you've got a blind crest, which has caught a few drivers out in the past in 2019, so it's going to be good to see how everyone tackles this. Oh, there we go. Commentator's curse.
Oh dear, Martin Vlcek off the road, just over one of those horrible little yumps.
Yeah, like I said, it's a tricky crest, it's a blind entry, and there's a big rock on the inside. It looked like he clipped the rock, which then fired him off to the left, and he's going no further, I'm afraid.
It might be spectator power to get him out here. Luckily, there is plenty there.
I think he's pulled the front right off the car there. I think, Pete, that was a big impact on the right. We'll see, but yeah, disappointing to see. But the main thing is they're both okay.
So Max McRae coming through now with Cameron Fair alongside, who's just recently celebrated his 30th birthday, and hearing it was a rather excitable occasion.
Imagine it would be tasteful.
Yes, yes. Tasteful. Yeah, maybe. But this is a big opportunity for Max. He's had a full season in the British Rally Championship, getting good mileage under his belt in the Citroen Rally 2. There's a good opportunity for him to get his best ERC result yet, and he's stepping up from the ERC 4 car in the junior category right up to Rally 2. You're kind of skipping a couple of chapters.
Certainly are. You've got to earn your stars or stripes, so to speak, in the junior category. But just looking at the car's behaviour, it looks really nervous on a high speed. It's moving around a lot laterally. Interesting to see there. Look, see how it's been. It's hard to say what it could be, but it doesn't look quite comfortable, that for me.
I wonder if Creighton might get held on the line here before Martin Vlcek can be recovered, which of course tyre temperature is going to be dropping. Not what you want on this stage.
Certainly not. No, as a driver, it's frustrating because you've obviously spent the last minute and a half prior to the control getting everything up to temperature, your tyres, your brakes, drop your pressures, get them set to the right level before you're heading into the control. But Will's experienced enough now to use your head, so to speak. The first 500 metres, the car won't be doing how it should be doing. It would be a little bit nervous, maybe a little bit understeery, oversteery. So we'll see how long the delay will be. That will factor in how you approach it. But
we've got longer qualifying stages than we used to have. There's now a regulation. It must be a minimum of 6 kilometres. I think it's a fantastic regulation. Because the qualifying stage can be such a make or break thing. Particularly on a loose gravel rally, of course. But tarmac, particularly, I think you want it. Where would you say is the ideal place to be on the road tomorrow morning? Do you want to open?
Yeah, you have to be first on the road. You have to be. I don't see any benefit running further back because it's been so wet in Wales the last few days. The guys first on the road, like for me, when I'm always first on the road, I try and cut as much as you can because you know it's only going to benefit you and disadvantage everyone else behind you, which, here we go, yeah, we're heading straight in. So not too much of a delay there for Will. So just full focus now. Got to dig deep.
Will Creighton, the leader of the British Rally Championship at the moment in that Toyota GR Yaris. Max McRae, Pleasant to Canny Fair.
5 left minus half long trim, opens or finish into 5 right plus half long.
He just backed off now because obviously he knows he's had to slow down.
It's the fact the guy had the SOS board up. Yeah, I know, yeah. He has to turn it around.
That's interesting, isn't it? If we had the SOS board, we should have stopped. Well, there we are. We'll see what they say.
Getting a bit more information from Max there. Molly Pettit down there on the stop line.
Max, good morning. That is a fair bit off the pace in there. What went on?
We had to slow down because there was a crash in front of us, so and the SOS board was being held up, so we had to pretty much stop to make sure they were right. But yeah, it was a bit annoying because we were having a good run, but yeah, glad they're okay.
How do you feel about the weekend ahead in this machine?
Yeah, I feel good. It's again another big learning opportunity, so yeah, we'll try and maximize everything and try, enjoy it as much as we can.
He seems quite content, Max, considering prior to the run I thought the car looked quite nervous, but from his perspective he seems raw. Yeah, that's big commitment there by Will.
You've obviously got a persuasive power, Tom Cave, because Jakob Matulka didn't switch to the soft. He did. He did. He's gone to his engineer going, Tom Cave has told me I have to switch to the soft tyre.
He cares to me now because he didn't go quickest. So.
But he had a good time though. I mean,
he was a good time. Yeah,
at the moment. So he's the head of Marczyk. Marion Evans, local boy.
Come on, Mario. Not that unbiased, but
totally impartial. Yes, no, that's all right. That's quite all right. Marion told me yesterday. He said he even got to go and use his own toilet on Ricky yesterday because
his house.
He goes past his house. Yeah. Let's get a word with Callum Devine.
Morning, Callum. Good to see you back in the ERC. How do you feel about the weekend?
Yeah, good to be back anyway, first of all. Tricky rally. But yeah, the qualifying stage, made a couple of changes in service. Just it's the first time in MRF tyres this weekend. So we did some changes for the qualifying, but car number 5 is off, so we had to turn off stage mode there and stuff. So, but it felt good. There was an improvement there, so that's the main thing.
What sort of changes was that?
Change the tyres, change a bit of the setup, change all the wee things. So yeah, it's a big learning weekend for me. As I say, it was great for MRF to give me this chance. So I'm looking forward to it though. Thank you.
He could do like a podcast for positivity and positive thinking, Callum right now. I mean, he's had an amazing season in Ireland, completely dominated the Irish Tarmac Championship. He's been the reference there.
2 times Irish Tarmac champion. Good guy, Callum. Got a lot of time for him. So back with Mary on. He'll be hoping for big things this weekend. With my co-driver, Dale Furness, alongside him.
So no excuses there?
No excuses, no. No, he's very organised, Dale, and Marion and him have worked well together this year in the British Championship.
So Will Creighton competes then. It's hard to say how representative times are because they'll be slowing up through that incident where Martin Vlcek's gone off. Crew are okay, of course. So Osian Pryce, fastest in free practice. He's had success here in a Hyundai before in the previous version, i20 R5, winning the first ever running of Rally Ceredigion in 2019. He had to go through the best first though to do
Morning,
so.
Will. Good to see you again. You've got a fairly big weekend ahead. What are the thoughts?
Yeah, it's a challenging weekend, a long rally, one of the biggest of the year for us. So yeah, we'll just see how we get on. It wasn't a great stage for us in there. Bit of a problem, and then there was a car that we were getting slowed for, but it's off the road. So yeah, a bit of a messy stage, but yeah, let's see what the time's like.
What was the problem?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, good poker face on, by the way. I think you've got. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you don't want to admit what the problem is, but back with Osian. He'd be hoping again for big things this weekend, being a local lad. Andy Hayes alongside him, not very familiar with each other in terms of working together in the car, so they've done one event, the Ulster Rally together a few weeks back, so aggressive through the water splash there.
They had a great run in Ulster.
They had a very good run.
Yeah, a really good result, and you know, new car. Okay, he's been in a Hyundai before, but is there much difference between the old R5 and the Rally 2? Is it really that big a difference?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Technology, chassis, software, everything's different. It's very much hard to comprehend the difference from an R5 to a Rally 2 now. It's with Marion. This is a good time by Marion, considering they probably had to slow down a little bit for the incident further back in the stage. He'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean,
and the road's dirty as well, Pete. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, not at all. It's second year in the Toyota for Marion, and we had his beloved Polo for so many years, and then struggled, I think, that first year in the Toyota. But it seems to be really be clicking together this season.
Certainly has. Yeah, they've been Toyota have been consistently upgrading that car, even till now. They're still developing it. So.
Marion, good morning. Quite a lot of grass and mud in that front left wheel there. A small moment, perhaps?
About 4 Ks a moment. No, it wasn't that bad. It was just there's mud being pulled out, and yeah, you have to go in where the other boys have been. So it's a shame we lost the first one. Really, we went on a full dry setup with medium tyres and everything, and it just was like obviously quite damp. So we kind of lost the free practice run, but I think it's recovered all right. And yeah, I think there's more anti-cuts on the Rally as well, so yeah, you know, if you're running 7th, 8th on the road, it shouldn't make too big a difference like last year, so.
I think he might be running further up than 7th, 8th on the road, depending on how the corrected times work. It's Robert Jurgenson making his ERC debut.
He's been quick this year in the British Championship, Romit. I have been impressed with his pace, to be honest, and even in WRC2 he's been setting some really good times. He's obviously got the car working well with M Sport, and it seems to suit him well.
Say it's his ERC1 debut, of course. Won Rally Estonia in the ERC3 category last year. That's his only ever ERC start. Of course, doing the full British Championship this year as well. What can Osian do? Certainly straight out the gates. He was first on the road this morning and
quick time.
Put it in. Yeah, great time.
Yeah.
3.8 off the quickest, and probably slowing a little bit within that.
Considering his road position, that's a very good time, to be fair. So.
Callum Black, driver very familiar in the national scene in the UK, making his ERC debut. Had to go and get his photo taken to get for the all the social media stuff yesterday. So he's right up there.
Yeah, Callum's a good lad. Jack Morton alongside him. Like you said, he's been very quick in the national championship.
Morning, Osian. That's just, I think, just over 3 seconds off the pace in there. Tell us what it was like.
Yeah, good. We slowed down for the car in front, so if we didn't have that, we'd have been bang on the money, but no, happy with that. You can see where the time is. We were waved down quite a bit before, obviously safety first, but obviously hemorrhage a bit of time, but car's working well, and yeah, looking forward to getting started.
I mean, is there a mechanism in this scenario for the other drivers who have been slowed down? Will they get time back, or is it up to the discretion of the organiser?
No, they won't now, because the car's off the road. If the car was in the middle of the road, then they would have to stop the stage and then go again. But no, I think from that instance, it's just one of those unfortunate things. Like Osian said, you have to slow down to some degree because you've got spectators waving you down. You've got obviously the driver and co-driver holding the triangle out to warn you there's a car off ahead. So back with Callum. He's been in this car now for a few years. Seems to get on well with the Fiesta. He's taking part in the British Rally Championship this year.
Yeah, slightly different rule set, isn't it, with the way the car's set up, what power it makes, etc. Very good to see him here.
Well met through that really tricky crest and through the left-hander. The camera angle doesn't do it any justice of how tricky that entry is into that corner. It's so blind, you can't see the apex until you're on it.
Good time there from Robert Jurgenson, third quickest. Fantastic. And I guess the drivers now know exactly where that incident is, so they're prepared for it. They can quickly slow down, get past the incident and keep going.
Yeah, you'd be told at the start by the start marshals, they they'll make you aware there's a car off on the stage, so you're roughly know where it is to some degree, but you still don't know what you're going to be faced with, do you? There could be mud pulled out on the road, or it's you just got to drive it on site.
Kind of stages where you really have to read the grip as well, and just think about driving rather than just going flat out. So for me, it looks nice. Obviously, some tricky stages coming. So yeah, looking forward.
No, I like him. He's got that persona about him. He's young, but he's still gathering experience, and he's quick as well. So and he's Estonian. So obviously they've got a lot of heritage in rallying with Estonia, obviously with Lloyd Tanak, and yeah, he certainly wants to watch for the future. Gary, he's had a rare to be up and down here in the British Championship. He did his event last year. He's got experience. He'll know what to expect with his preparation and what he needs to do. He had a few little issues last year, which hopefully he'll learn from that and he'll be able to put into good practice this year.
Great to hear the dulcet tones of Hannah McKillop as well. Let's listen in. Hannah normally sits with Aoife Rafferty in the ERC Juniors, but of course a British Championship programme with Gary Pearson. We're often on the same flight home to Edinburgh, so I get all the gossip from Hannah on the way home from Rally. She works very, very hard at her craft, and great to see her up there and getting this opportunity in the ERC.
It's interesting to look at everyone's tyre choices. So the top three runners are all sort of going on we don't know with Mabellini, but going on a medium tyre, and everyone after that has gone with a soft, apart from Callum, Devine, who went on a super soft as well, and Max McRae. So the roads obviously factoring in, getting dirtier, there's a lot more mud being pulled out, so these guys are factoring that in as well into the tyre choice.
There seems to be a lot of people with a very similar pace, which is very promising for the rally ahead. Let's hear from Callum Black for the very first time in the ERC on Rally TV.
Callum, good morning. That's qualifying stage completed. How did you manage?
Yeah, baptism of fire, I guess. I made a bit of a silly decision this morning to try on a harder tyre with a harder setup. And then when I got to the stage, I realised it's very wet. So you've got to try these things. Obviously, I haven't quite got as much experience as everyone else around me, but I'm learning as you go along. And yeah, enjoying it. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have him here, Callum Black, the reigning Motorsport UK Ashpole Rally champion.
See, that's what we're discussing off air, Pete. You get these little oversteery, understeery moments. You just got to go with it. Don't fight the car. You're going to get this being further back on the road, more mud, more grass being pulled out as well, and a bit of water mixed in. You're going to get these little twitchy moments. It's how you handle them and where they happen as well. Like these long corners, if you get a mud bit or wet patch mid through the long corner and it snaps on you, that's when it becomes interesting. So down to the hairpin left. It's quite good grip out this corner. You can really get on the power already up the hill, carry the speed. See Gary's taking big cuts as well, maybe a bit more than everyone else.
Yeah, we had a quick chat with Cammy Fair, co-driver for Max McRae. He said this stage was a proper wake-up call over the red boards then for Gary Pearson.
I would say this stage is probably one of the slowest of the rally, really. The rest of the stage is much more flowing and fast. This is very technical considering to the rest they're going to face come tomorrow. So, you know, as long as they don't read too much into that with the setup and the feeling they have, it's very much going to be different tomorrow. So.
Gary, good morning. What were conditions like for you in there?
A bit tricky, to be honest. Yeah, obviously probably got the worst of the conditions with the mud, but yeah, okay, it was clean, no dramas, a couple of little slides, but yeah, time maybe wasn't the best.
What can we expect this weekend from this rally?
Yeah, I think probably a lot of mud. You know, I think definitely a lot of mud, but no, I think it's tricky enough weekend ahead, long rally, so I think we've got to try and keep it keep it neat and precise, and yeah, fingers crossed we can get a good result.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be a lot of mud on the roads. Yeah. That's what Gary Pearson's predicting. Very, very interesting indeed.
But then my comment would be that there wouldn't be as much mud as they think it will be. So I think there's a lot more anti-cut devices being used.
So, Andrea Mabellini, fastest through qualifying. That's the way that you bounce back from that bad news overnight. John Armstrong, second quickest with his M Sport teammate, Jurgenson, in third. Osian Pryce running further down the road, still fourth quickest with Creighton right behind him. Good run from Matulka in sixth. And Marczyk, he will start seventh on the road tomorrow. Might that compromise him? We will find out when we get into the stages tomorrow. Marion Evans, Callum Devine and Gary Pearson round out your top 10 with Callum Black in 11th and Max McRae in 12th, having to slow down for that incident. So, our schedule for the rest of the day, we will be tearing around the streets of Aberystwyth later on for stage 1, right by the seaside. It's a wonderful stage, not one to miss. That's at 4:45 local time, where we will get to meet every single entrant in the ERC this weekend in Rali Ceredigion, so make sure not to miss that. It'll be myself, Peter Mackay and Tom Cave taking you through the action, and then a full packed day of rally action. Early start tomorrow, 7 o'clock, bright and early. We'll be here with Haley Hedmans greeting you in the studio, and then it is crunch time. Sunday might be one of the most important days of the season with the championship battle that we have. 12 stages of pure tarmac magic. Be sure to join us then. Goodbye for now.